No confidence. Okay, this is what you do if you don't have confidence. First of all, you have to earn confidence. I can create my own confidence. If I drill like a stud in practice and I don't talk and I don't look around the room and I stay in the stands for 2 hours, after I work hard, I feel good about myself. When I feel good about myself, I have something inside me called confidence. So sometimes, if you don't have confidence, it might be your fault, because some people should not have confidence because they don't deserve to have confidence in themselves. So keep that in mind. If you're doing everything right and you still struggle with confidence, you just might need to set some realistic goals. If you're a second-year wrestler and you're wrestling a kid in practice with 7 years of experience, he's an 18-year-old, and you're 14 and that kid's been wrestling a long time, you might not have confidence against him. So maybe set a goal. I'm going to take him down twice in a practice, and then I finally can do that, and now I start to get confidence. So just stair-stepping or baby-stepping your way into those better kids is a good way to get confidence. Sometimes we don't have confidence because if we win, we're a winner. If we lose, we're a loser. You have to learn that if you lose, you're not a loser. If you lose and lay down, well, then maybe you are. But if you lose, if I lose in track, but I ran 1 second faster in the mile than I've ever have, I feel good about that. So learn to work those small successes into your wrestling career so that you don't feel like a down in the dumps loser when you don't get your hand raised. So set these little goals that lead to the success further down the line. So maybe you're too hard on yourself and you don't set realistic small goals. If I'm a weightlifter and I need to bench press 200 pounds, but I can't do it, the most I've ever done is 175. So at the weightlifting competition this weekend, I put up 180. I might get 5th place at the weightlifting competition. I can feel good about that. Now, I'm not benching 200 yet, but that's fine. I just admit it. I go, hey, I'm not ready to win the state title in weightlifting right now. That's okay. I have to be okay with that, because I can't put 20 pounds on my bench in 5 minutes. It's not going to happen. It takes time. Well, it takes time to improve in wrestling too. So keep that in mind. Another thing is this: if you're nervous about a certain opponent and you don't have confidence with a certain opponent, formulate a game plan. That's called studying. That's called doing homework. If I'm nervous about the spelling test and I don't want to flunk it, I study. Then I study before bed. Then I get up in the morning and I study for 10 minutes. Then I circle the 5 words that I'm no good at. When I go on the bus, I study those 5 words until I know them. And then at math class, at the last 5 minutes of math class, I study on my notes again, and then I go into the spelling test, and I take the spelling test, and I do well. Maybe I'm not 100% certain I'm going to get 100%, but I'm no longer nervous because I studied. And you can do that with wrestling too. So you formulate a game plan, especially if you know your opponent. You can formulate a game plan based upon what you have done last time, what he's done. You might say, okay, I need to make sure that I keep my hands low because he shoots off the whistle. Or maybe this week at practice I work stopping an arm chop, all right? Or I work my side lift because when he got to his feet, I couldn't return him to the mat. So I hit 50 side lifts after practice, 3 practices, 150 side lifts. So now I've got a couple of things in my toolbox, a couple tools, and now when I go back in for the rematch, I feel good about the match. I'm no longer nervous. Now, I'm not guaranteeing myself I'm going to win or pin him, but I put myself in a very good place. And once you put yourself in a good place, then that's success. So study by formulating a game plan and get some drill time against these kids. And there's a few techniques there for helping you with your confidence that will help fantastic. And sometimes it's not confidence, it's a psych out. You psych yourself out. And I always use this as an analogy. If you're a NASCAR driver and you're thinking about the possibility of crashing and maybe dying in a fire and getting burned up in a fire, you're not going to race very good. But if you're thinking about, navigating the race and pushing the limits and the checkered flag and being on TV and, standing on the car and all the sponsors and, all the girls come around and the interviews and the champagne and, you get excited about racing, and now you're probably going to be amped up and excited about getting the wheel and getting in, behind the wheel in the race car, because you're thinking good thoughts. So sometimes it's not confidence, or maybe you had confidence, but you scared yourself because you don't know how to think. If you think about winning, wrestling's fun. If you think about losing, wrestling sucks. All right? If you're thinking about getting hit in the head with a baseball, baseball is no fun. If you're thinking about cracking home runs and hitting line drives, baseball's fun. So, sometimes you're just doing it wrong, okay? So there's a few pieces of advice, 4 good sections there that might help you to deal with your lack of confidence. So check us out at PurlerWrestling.com, and hit the subscribe button here, and check out our other YouTube videos and share these. This is just a good way for me to help kids, and help adults, and help high school kids, and even college guys, and help coaches. So it's just a good free venue and avenue for me to be able to do that. So if you like these, share them, spread the word, hit the like button, and stay tuned. If people watch, I'll keep putting more of these advice videos up.